Well, here I'm just going to throw out a quick video looking ahead to the UFC card, which comes next week. I think it's going to be from Vegas. It's going to be Tyron Woodley against Gilbert Burns as our main event there. And just really just a quick look at the card. There's been a lot of fights that's been put together within the last 24 to 48 hours. So just going to have a little peek through it, give you some possible early picks. I have watched about 3 or 4 of the fights already, so I'm going to have to watch a couple more tonight and then get through it through the weekend. Hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's enjoying having UFC back in their life after that long period not having it. I had 3 really good cards last week, and it looks like UFC 250 looks like a big... What's up, Moise Audio? Hope you're well, my brother. Hope everybody's looking forward to the slew of fights we've got coming. UFC 250 looks like it's going to be a great card. So just really going to run through these cards really quickly, fights really quickly. Try and get this out here and done quite quick. So Chris Gutierrez against Vince Morales is one that's literally been made in the last hour. I quite like Chris Gutierrez. Now, to me, I don't really feel that Vince Morales is really UFC kind of quality at this point. And as well with these fights, you have to be careful about looking at them through. It's just like everything's been thrown together. I think there's going to be catchweight bouts. There's going to be all that. But in his UFC 10, I mean, he lost to Song Yadong very convincingly, beat Eamon Zahabi pretty convincingly, and then lost a very kind of closely contested decision. But I like the striking skills of Chris Gutierrez personally. I think he's got a little bit more about him. But that's what I'm looking forward to really jumping into. I'm going to watch that fight tonight and see if that really changes my mind. But I do like Gutierrez. He's a little bit tricky in some of his spots. But yeah, I think as of right now, I'm kind of on the Gutierrez side. Billy Quarantillo against Spike Carlyle. This is going to be a catchweight, I think, at 150. And Spike Carlyle came out there and he absolutely blasted through Elon Cruz. And looked good in doing so. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that happening. I thought Elon Cruz was going to come out there and kind of handle him quite well. And I mean, 9-1 record. I think he's got himself a pretty decent kind of training out there, and might maybe underestimate a little bit. I maybe did that a little bit in his debut. I thought that Elon Cruz was just a little bit too, well, not too good. I thought he was just a little bit better at this point. But I mean, he came out there and absolutely elbowed the head clean off Elon Cruz, and was really that's a big win. And like I say, I think that against Billy Quarantillo here, who went a little bit blood and guts with I forgot the guys against. Sorry, I pulled it up there. Jacob Kilburn. Yeah, he actually got his black belt after that, and I was went to look at the lineage of his black belt to see where the lineage come from. So it comes from Matt Arroyo and it goes into Rob Cohen, who was a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu disciple. So getting that's not a bad thing. As of right now, I quite like Spike Carlyle, but like I say, this fight card's going to be weird because guys aren't really going to be in camp all too much. So it's going to be interesting to see what's really kind of going on with camps and so on. But I quite like Spike Carlyle as of right now. Tim Elliott against Brendan Royval. Royval's a guy that I know a lot of guys. He's kind of faced a lot of kind of decent guys come up through the LFA and so on, and now he's getting his chance in here. Tim Elliott might be a little bit too seasoned at this point. That's a tough, because I feel like Tim Elliott's definitely, I think a lot of guys can beat him, but Royval's like he's kind of a new guy that's coming into the UFC. I think I made a prediction video. I thought this guy's going to make the UFC this year, and I think he was scheduled for the Dana White Contender Series, so he's been asked. Well, he's been given the opportunity. He was supposed to fight Jerome Rivera actually in the Contender Series at the end of June. Now he's got a really big, experienced fight here in Tim Elliott, and like I say, I would like to kind of fade Tim Elliott, but I'm going to have to watch a little bit more of kind of Brendan Royval. Casey Kenny beat him. He beat Joby Sanchez, who's a former UFC fighter. Not that that's really saying much, because Joby Sanchez had more than a few opportunities to really come in to the UFC and try and do something, and didn't really do an awful lot. So as of probably right now, I quite like maybe, I don't quite like, but maybe edge Tim Elliott. But like I say, I'm not really clued up in Brendan Royval just as much yet. Casey Kenny against Lewis Smolka. I like Casey Kenny in that one. I still think that Lewis Smolka is dangerous in a lot of spots, but I think Casey Kenny's just tougher. I think he's a better wrestler. I think he can take Smoker down. I think that he can just bleed MMA. I'll be off in like 10 minutes, brother. If I'll not be taking anything away from you. I'm just literally jumping on here, just talking a couple of fights and getting something out there. But Smoke is always dangerous, can transition, can sweep. Casey Kenny coming off that loss to him, Ray Devilishvili. I think this is a really good opportunity. Casey Kenny get back in the win column here. Like I say, stronger grappler. I think striking wise he's better as well. I like Casey Kenny right now. Roosevelt Roberts against Brock Weaver. I think that's a I don't want to say, shouldn't really be saying this, but maybe a layup for Roosevelt Roberts. I think that's a really good fight for him. But I don't rate Brock Weaver at all, I'll be honest with you. I think that you've seen where his disparities lie in his last fight where he was getting taken down. Obviously that fight kind of changed very, very quickly, but Roberts has got a wrestling background. He's got length, I believe, on Brock Weaver. I like Roberts in that spot there. Mackenzie Dern against Hannah Cifers. To me, this is just a tailor-made matchup for Mackenzie Dern. I think that against a very small 115er, she's one of the bigger girls, big hips, jiu-jitsu edge, can crack. Hannah Cifers' head, it never shifts. It's always on the centre line. You can always get it. So she's got that big power where she can hit Cifers. But once this hits the mat, I think that she can transition into any spot on there. This is a really good opportunity for, I think, a first-round finish for Mackenzie Dern. Cifers is tough, I'll give her that. But I like Mackenzie Dern. I like Mackenzie Dern in a lot of fights. I think she's got a lot of good stuff there to win her fights, but she needs to put it all together. Obviously, coming back against Amanda Ribas was not the best idea. So, yeah, I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern first round submission in that one. Jamahal Hill against Clinton Abreu. Now, if you go on Twitter right now, there's people betting these guys up. You've got your UFC bro picks. I think there's a couple other guys that I've seen in there, and they're quite high on Jamahal Hill. I think this is a tough fight, personally. I think this Clinton Abreu, we've not seen the best of him in the UFC. I think he's been against guys with really bad really good takedown defense, and we've just not seen it. I think that when you watch Jamahal Hill, like Daquan Townsend was sweeping this guy. He was getting into top position. If Clinton Abreu somehow manages to get this fight to the ground, I think that Clinton has got a really good opportunity to submit this kid. What I have liked about Clinton Abreu is just the fact that he seems like his get-up game has got better since that mentioned fight with Daquan Townsend. But like I said, I don't think we've seen the best of Clinton Abreu at all. I'm going to be on the Clinton Abreu side in this one. I think I'm not, even though we seen him against Darko Stosic, I thought he looked good. I thought his head was very much there to be hit. But like I said, I feel that Abreu, if he can use this ground game that he's got, because we've seen it when he was in Russia, that he can be very, very dominant against guys down there. But he needs to get it there, because if he doesn't, Hill's going to outclass him on the feet, I think, for the majority of the points. So I'm going to take Abreu. Even though that I think Hill is an ascending fight, I think he's going to be very, very good. But I'm going to take the more experienced guy right now. Caitlin Chikagi against Antonina Shevchenko. Yeesh, that got made this afternoon. I've seen. Probably go with the experience of Chikagi. I think there's going to be a lot of tennis grunts in this one here. I wonder who'll be the louder one in the cage. Obviously, Chikagi's coming back after Valentina whooped her not too long ago. I like Chikagi now. I just think she's far too experienced kind of in the MMA circle, and has fought the better caliber opposition. I mean, she doesn't get any better than fighting who she did there. So pretty dominant probably decision for Caitlin Chikagi. Blagoy Ivanov against Augusto Sakai. This was an interesting one, sitting back and watching fights. It's going to be close. The betting line says that. Both guys, I think if you got on Augusto Sakai at plus money, I think that's a good bet. But Blagoy's an absolute spoiler. He really is. It's a hard fight to really break down. I can see it being close. Blagoy's got one of those heads that you could hit all day long, and he doesn't really go down from it. He can absorb a lot of shots, and he's just a tough guy. I'm probably right now leaning on the Blagoy Ivanov side, but I could easily be flipping that pick by the time it hits next week and I'm finished everything. But that's one of the fights I've watched, and I am kind of feeling on the Blagoy side in that one. But it's a tough fight. I hear there's going to be another one, maybe two fights added to this card. We'll need to wait and see, but that's one of the tougher ones in my opinion, to pick in this card. Then Tyron Woodley against Gilbert Burns. I think a lot of people like Gilbert Burns. I like. What's up, guys? I can see in the chat there, GTMMA. What's happening, brother? I like watching Gilbert Burns as a fighter. I think he's a really, really fun fighter to watch. He's obviously ascending, and he's in the best part of his kind of UFC career right now. But Tyron Woodley's still a tough guy to face. The guy's a former champion. The guy defended his belt numerous occasions. Obviously, the one thing I don't like about Tyron Woodley is him backing up to the cage, but that's something he does in the majority of his fights. I like Tyron Woodley in this spot, and I'm seeing a lot of love for Gilbert Burns, and I can see why, because you've got someone like Burns who fights on the regular all the time, and he's got a lot of defining kind of skill sets. He's got if this fight was to hit the ground, and he was in a position where he had the opportunity to grab something, he absolutely can maybe submit someone like Tyron Woodley. But Woodley, I think he's going to play a patient game plan here of sitting back and trying to hit him on the counter. But like I say, Burns is very quick, hits very hard, good hand speed, and is a guy that can get in and out really, really quick and pepper you some shots. But Woodley might have... I was going to say the intimidation factor there. I don't think Gilbert Burns is really intimidated by anybody, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the Woodley side. I've only watched a couple of fights. I'm probably going to watch a couple more, not too much, but I'm going to go with Tyron Woodley in that one. I think that he could end up frustrating someone like Gilbert Burns a little bit. I mean, I think the only guy to really stop Tyron Woodley, if I remember off the top of my head, was Nate Marquardt. So. But Woodley, the thing that I also don't like is the fact that he takes quite a lot of time off. I mean, I think I watched something earlier on, it was like 400 days he's been away from this fight. Obviously, he had the Leon Edwards one, and he couldn't really help that got postponed. Spent majority of the time for that camp in Thailand with Mike Swick saying, and Mike Swick's obviously going to come out and say he looked the best he ever did. But yeah, I've just got the funny feeling this is really going to be close, and I'm kind of edging Woodley, but I can see... I can see myself probably going with Woodley in that one, but I can also maybe see myself changing by fight week next week. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tyron Woodley. But guys, I just wanted to throw a little video out there, because this card's literally been through together in the last, at least 5 or 6 of these fights in the last 24 hours. So, just to throw something out there and kind of keep the channel going until next week. And I'm going to watch some of these fights over the next 4 or 5 days, 3-4 days, and then get back to you with my official predictions next week. But as of right now, I'm kind of edging Tyron Woodley. I'm kind of on the other side. Everybody seems to be on the Gilbert Burns side, and maybe that's a smart side to be on, but I'm on the Woodley side as of right now. So guys, that's just a wee video, 13, 14 minute video to get out of there. Just put something on the channel. Until next week, my predictions will be out there. Appreciate all the support, all the best, and stay safe.